It's now time for Me and My Roku with your host, Peter Clay.
Who's your guy?
Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
Peter was like my brother.
This is my brother, Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Peter Clay is here today. Holy crap, it's Peter.
Oh, I love Peter.
Peter was a sweet guy.
Good luck tonight, Peter.
Your host, Peter Clay.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another scintillating, exciting adventure of Me and My Roku. I am your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. This is the podcast where I describe in great, exhausting detail what I do with my cord cutting. I'm laughing here because I was doing research for this show. And I was looking for different ways. I have a couple places that I just have been kind of relying on for headlines in streaming and cord cutting, all that stuff. And so I decided to go to Twitter. And I did a search for cord cutting and found a whole different meaning to the word cord cutting than what we're used to in this realm here. Which means we have let go of cable television, or subscription television in a sense, and have moved on and taken our own control of media and streaming along those lines. But in the Twitter universe, it seems to be the practice of helping to recover energy that has been lost and to reestablish healthy, energetic boundaries. That's not what I do here. I give you energy, and hopefully that helps you recover the energy that you need to get your streaming information that you need. I just tell you what I do. That's the me part of that. So it's not like it's all about me and no one else's influences are important or anything like that. No, that's not what it means. It means I can only just tell you what I do. I mean, I could tell you what to do, but you wouldn't listen to that, would you? No? You don't want to be told what to do. So I just tell you what I do. And you can judge for yourself what comes and what goes from there and on those lines. So that's an exciting adventure that awaits us here today. So I'm on vacation. It turned out to be a staycation. I don't want to say I should be in Las Vegas right now. I could be in Vegas right now. I decided not to for personal reasons. Not really too much to do with Omicron and all that stuff. It's just there's a lot going on in the family and all that stuff, and it just didn't seem like an appropriate time. We had the big party 2 years ago for my birthday on a big milestone type of thing, half-century type of thing. It's 2 years later now. And we've moved on and all that stuff. Now, with the pandemic, so we got it in just under the wire. We got it 6 weeks just before everything kind of closed down. And so now I'm getting kind of feelers out there. It's like, oh, do we really want to do this again type of thing? And so we'll see. Maybe next year we'll have another big Clay Vegas outburst. Not just for my birthday. I mean, we'll do it around there, of course. Come on, I'm not an idiot. But just to celebrate friends, family, and all that stuff, and just have a big get-together to celebrate that we've made it this far, and we can still go and all that stuff. So that's the story on that right now. So I could have gone. I didn't. I'm staying home, so I still have the week off. And so I'm putting up podcasts and doing different things. I might even do live streams. I might even do videos. We'll see. But for now, this is what you get right now. So we have a lot to get to, so let's get started.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Okay. Well, here's a new twist in the streaming wars. Fubo TV has announced they are dropping monthly plans and have now started quarterly plans. That's right. If you want the pro quarterly plan now, it averages out to $69.99 a month. But if you want that plan, you have to fork up $209.97 right off the bat. And there you go. And you have to have it for 3 months before you can cancel. Wow. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Is this what? Is this, Now, my first thought on this, because now Fubo is claiming to be the sports-focused live streamer, is that this is just a way for that people don't get their plan, get it for 7 days, and then quit after the Super Bowl. Now, I just went on the website and saw that they still have a 7-day trial. So, I don't know what they're trying to do now. Now, sports rights are expensive. So if they do this and they get people on, and they're on for at least 3 months, that maybe helps pay for some of these services? I don't know. That is up for them to decide. But that seems a little odd to me. That would not work in the Me and My Roku universe for me. I've already had issues with Fubo in the past. It's fine service. I've tried it. It's fine. I've never once did because there wasn't really a way for me to get gift cards for it. And when they did use Apple credits, it was like it was their own different little plan and all that stuff. And there was only one plan I could use. I couldn't add or subtract channels or anything along the lines that I can do with other services like Hulu. Hulu is its own universe too, but I can get gift cards for separate things on that, and I can choose what I want and use the gift cards to pay for it, and not through Apple. So yeah. So good luck, Fubo. Maybe you'll need it. Maybe this is brilliant. Maybe this is just a way, because maybe some people are saying, well, why just a quarter? Why not a year type of thing? I went and looked at certain services, and the only ones I could find that would do a yearly one was, and this was just through my Apple credits. This is not through their own website. It was Paramount Plus, $99.99 a year, and that's for the commercial free. Or I think it was then $69.99 for if you wanted the ads. And a little service I haven't used in a while now is Boomerang, $39.99 for the year. You can get all the old Hanna-Barbera and Warner-owned cartoons. So there you have it. So yeah, would you want Disney Plus just for a year? I think they have a yearly option on their own website, but not through Apple. I don't think so. And it's now part of the bundle now, so I didn't do that. So interesting ways. What would you do? Boy, that's a change here on Me and My Roku. To ask what you would do, you can tell me. Send me an email at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. For me, personally, maybe a year I can think of it because now I've been rolling up the credits. But a quarterly, then I don't know. Maybe because Hulu, if I end up having it for 6 months anyway, why not do it at 3 months at a time? Huh, interesting. I wouldn't mind an option if you're going to give me savings, but to say this is how we're doing it, no monthly option at all, and you want a quarterly, a little leery of that. So, good luck, Fubo. Good luck. That's what we can do here on Me and My Roku. Okay, so for months now, I have been talking about the ongoing Warner Media Discovery merger and saying if this is going to go through, first of all, I've said for the whole longest time, it was going to take a while, it was going to take at least a year, and it'll probably be about May of this year before it gets done. We're on pace for that, it looks like. But it seemed like something was going to have to go. I was warning Chip and Joanna Gaines that maybe, don't pack your bags or anything like that or put for sale signs out. Just be, on the way. And then I thought, well, most logically, CNN or Turner, that whole thing, the CNN, TNT, TBS, something would have to go. This isn't going to just sail through or anything like that. Something they're going to have to offer something up to regulators and all that stuff. Well, we have gotten word from the regulatory committee, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, and the Warner Media Discovery merger. For it to go through, they're going to have to give up nothing. Not a thing. They get the approval. It's all set to go. It is expected to close second quarter, so we're still looking about that May timeframe, June at the latest. So Warner Media Discovery, what is that going to mean now for streaming? That means there's going to be one big buttload of a company there, probably along the same lines of Disney, probably, if you really peel back the layers and all that stuff. Yes, I think bigger than Netflix. But Does that mean it's going to be a bigger company market-wise and all that stuff? Who knows? It all depends on the institutional investors and what they do and all that stuff. So it's going to be a big deal. Is it hurting Disney at all right now? No, not right now, because Disney just reported earnings and all that stuff. And, whoa, did they kind of, well, let's just say they beat expectations. We don't want to get too carried away. I mean, you can get into the nitty-gritty of this and say it's not as big as you think. But look, ESPN Plus, 4.2 million more subscribers, over 21 points, so up 76% year over year. Hulu up, including Hulu Plus Live TV, 11.8 million subscribers to Disney Plus, more. So more is more. It's, now I will also disclosure and all that stuff. I am a shareholder in Disney. I mean, we're talking like a couple $100, no big deal, But Disney, so it's Disney, Apple, Viacom, CBS. That's what I own. Just little things up, but that does not affect my streaming and I don't do it for that. That's a whole separate category. Investing is investing. Streaming is streaming. I stream what I want and I tell you about it. So, but I just like to be fair. So, as a Discovery Plus owner and an HBO Max subscriber as well, what is this going to mean for me? Is it going to be one huge app, or are they going to stay the same? Or are they going to do like what Discovery did when they merged with Scripps? You just start to see food things get melded in Discovery. You start seeing Discovery things meld into Food Network or HGTV or anything along those lines. So they all kind of just coalesce. We shall see. Maybe, how about this? A bundle. An HBO Max Discovery bundle. So that's the good. So in the long run, does it really mean? So the only thing that's really probably going to get out is the CW, what we talked about a couple weeks ago. And that's just the time has come type of thing. They don't need it. And there's a partnership with Viacom CBS. I think that they both want to move on type of thing. So, wow. Things going on. Oh, and Amazon. Well, let's not forget about that. Let's talk about Amazon here for a little bit. Hold our beer a little bit. So they have now announced that they are going to make it easier for live TV services. They're going to have a little universal grid guide on the Fire TV stuff. Fine. Dandy. They also, kind of in line with our previous segment about the crazy things that Fubo is going to be doing with quarterly prices. And then jumping in with Netflix, Amazon is saying, hold our beer, we'll raise our prices as well. $139.99 for the yearly, up to $14.99 for, this is for Amazon Prime, for monthly. But the standalone, if you just want Prime Video, that's going to stay the same, $8.99. So everyone's going to say, so Amazon, in a sense, is saying, thank you, Netflix, for raising prices, because we stay under that threshold. And they can still raise the prices, and, hey, what do you know? I did a crazy little thing here, like you say, talked about over the years here. I do as very much out of pocket as possible, so things don't come out of my pocket. So I do gift cards and all that stuff. This here was a little arrangement, is I get the little missus to pay for that. And she does it monthly and all that stuff, and we kind of looked at each other and goes, huh? And we say, no, we still see the value there. So prices are going up. Things like Disney and everything else, they all raised them up last year, including ESPN Plus, but the bundle kind of stayed the same. So we shall see the other triple effects on that. So Disney doing fine, Discovery, Warner merger gone through, and Amazon raising prices. So that's the life of the streamer right now. We got to just pay attention to all these things. It's going to be fine because you're here on me and my Roku. Okay, so maybe it's time we catch up on some things. Maybe make some amendments or some follow-ups, let's just say. So let's start with the previous segment where I mentioned that Amazon Fire TV is going to be making it easier to manage live TV services with a universal grid guide. Everyone's trying to help out with the live service. Google Chromecast with Google TV is doing it, or is it Google TV with Chromecast? I always get it confused. But anyway, they're doing a thing too. And throw in Roku as well then, with their Roku Live TV Zone. Is it the next step in live streaming? Dun, dun, dun. Now, I checked it out with the little Roku device right in front of me, my ever-faithful Roku 3. And, okay, it's fine. On the Roku, it's on the left-hand side, on that side menu over there, and it just says live streaming. You click that. You see everything that's live, either on the Roku channel or available on other services that you might subscribe to or anything along those lines, plus what's on Hulu, what's on Fubo, what's on all these things. So it basically is just taking you to other apps. It's not really giving you anything really thrilling, exciting to me, but maybe more people need it spelled out for them, and that's fine. And so know that live TV, what's available, all three major things, not really anything on Apple. I'll have to double check that as well. A couple other things I just want to now, does that mean now also a kind of a death to dongles then too? Is this more streaming TVs or smart TVs are adding apps along the lines then too then, and they already have that live function right on there as well, so add that into the mix to kind of maybe confuse you. A couple of other things I wanted to follow up on the Back to Basics I did on the last episode, a bank show, as we like to say. I just threw it up there over the weekend. And I had mentioned a couple of apps like Just Watch and Real Good and IMDb and all that stuff. One other thing I want to throw in there as well as a way, as a reference. That's what we're trying to get at here. It's a reference to help you decide which services to use if you wish, type of thing, or where to find things at. And so as far as finding services, though, to match up, so, where can I get the Food Network, or where can I get this network or that network, and sports and all those things. Suppose.tv. They don't have an app just yet still, so that's just a website. But it's very good. Suppose.tv, you let them know where you live, 2, what you want to watch, and then they match the services for you also. It's a very good reference resource, and I should have threw that out there as well. And the other amendment I wanted to, I didn't quite say it correctly about Fox and Hulu kind of staying together, because I kind of insinuated that because Comcast has the option this year of leaving the agreement or stay 2 more years until 2024. This is like, oh, well, Fox has decided, hey, we're going to stay here type of thing by coming to an agreement with Hulu. Well, it's on their unscripted series. So it's not like Family Guy, not like, Lone Star 911 or anything along those lines. So this is the Gordon Ramsay cooking shows. This is The Masked Singer. This is I Can See Your Voice. All these different things. So they have an agreement to show those things next day, and then also they're putting them also on Tubi. So I'm just clarifying that just a little more on that. And I think I have kind of kept us all together here. So anything that sometimes I talk too fast, I get going too much. I'm so excited to talk about all the things here that I do. That's just what I do here on Me and My Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Not too close, but let's get together here and have a little chit-chat here. Some people think that it's difficult to find books on certain topics in local libraries and bookstores. And some people think that access to knowledge is for the rich and privileged. But people around the globe, from Romania to Pakistan, New Zealand to Brazil, all around 5 continents, universal access to all knowledge is available at the Internet Archive, and you can access them at archive.org. They are also the providers of the bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts that I've done since 2005. Even before the pandemic, depending on the topic, sometimes it's difficult to find books on certain topics in local libraries and bookstores. And the Internet Archive is trying its darndest to make sure that all access to all knowledge is available. Check it out today at archive.org, and then just consider supporting them or just finding the topics that you're looking for to spark you. It helped me when I was looking to go into podcasting, but maybe becoming a book author and all that stuff, but I didn't want to do all that rigmarole and all that stuff. And they've provided me with a Creative Commons so that this has access to everyone and all that stuff, and that can be used and repurposed along those lines. I'm not here to try and make a buck and all that stuff. I'm here to provide information. That's how I got started in this. I was providing information for people. People were coming to me going, Peter, how do I use my Roku? What do you recommend for streaming? How do I cut the cord and all that stuff? So I thought, well, as a reference, then I would provide this out there, and the Internet Archive has made sure that is preserved so people can go back and, one, see where we came from. Just 10 years ago when I first started this, we talked about on the last couple of shows where I went back in my notes where we've come in just 1 year. So, and then adding the pandemic and all that stuff along those lines, all I ask, instead of making donations to me or getting a Patreon or having ads that I could read to you, I just provide information for you to check out for yourself. And check that out today at archive.org. There's things that I do on the background that are running as we speak right now, and that gets converted into gift cards, and I use that for streaming, so it doesn't come out of my pocket. Now, I'm not providing a one-on-one on exactly how to do that. I just am here to tell you that one of the things I use is swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. If you use that site exactly as I said it right there, or click on the link that's provided where you got this podcast, can get you started. It was the first step for me. There's others that I do now, but that was step number one that I used, and it's still here today. I still find it useful. Maybe I don't make as much as I used to, but all this stuff, but it's still useful. And provide swagbunks.radioaffliction.com, and universal access to all knowledge can be achieved at archive.org.
Hey girls, what do real stud muffin guys look for? Silly young teeny boppers or older women? Yes, that's right, today's real men look towards the older woman. But now, no matter how young you are, you can start looking older immediately with the latest wrinkle in teenage cosmetics, Ms. Wrinkles. Apply in the morning, and in just a few short minutes, tiny lines of character and maturity start to appear around your eyes and lips. Suddenly, your whole face is saying,
I've been around. I know what I'm doing. And most of all, I know what I want.
Of course, different faces say different things. Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay, so we can't be responsible for what yours says. So don't ask anyone's permission. Be grown up right now. Go out and buy Ms. Wrinkles.
The past does not equal your future unless you live there.
Okay, news, notes, and stuff, and maybe even some listener questions along the way here, too. Let's see what time has spread out for us here. YouTube TV offering $20 refer a friend credit. That's interesting because they also have a plan where if you can have family sharing, as long as they have a Gmail account and all that stuff, too. So either refer a friend or family share. Which one are you going to do? YouTube TV also adding Fox Weather to its lineup. And Fox Weather saying, thank you, YouTube TV, for that sharing that news, because now they also announced that they're also going on the Roku channel and Fubo. How about that? Fox Weather. Why not? People, rest easy. You're going to be able to sleep well tonight knowing that, oh, thank God, Yellowstone will return for a season 5. I guess people were worried about that. It made the headlines. Maybe remember a couple things I said about the Internet Archive, archive.org, that some Agatha Christie was in the public domain. And, of course, we see Kenneth Branagh has made a couple movies now. But BritBox wanted to get on that, and they have announced they'll be making 3 new Agatha Christie series and all stuff. And there you go. Probably in the public domain. They can just go ahead, give the green light to some new Agatha Christie shows. We need more mystery on BritBox. Disney also has confirmed that they will bid for the NFL Sunday Ticket. CEO Bob Chapek said that in an interview on CNBC. He says, yeah, we're all in. We're going to go for it. Probably put it on ESPN+. But they're not going to be the only ones. DirecTV might want to try and keep it because they're on their own now. They're broken away from AT&T, but Apple's in there, Amazon. Now that HBO Max and or HBO, the Warner Discovery merger, they might want to get in on that. So that's going to be a big deal after next season. What's going to happen with Sunday Ticket? As long as I can just get Red Zone separate on these things, I don't care what happens. So I not really wanted to watch whatever game I want. Red Zone has been fine for me, but that's okay. According to an analyst, they're saying Netflix needs to add a lower-priced ad tier or sell. Well, who's going to buy them? Because all you analysts out there are just in institutions that are investing billions of dollars into Netflix, making it one of the biggest companies in the world, even though when you peel back the layers, it's just a product. But hey, that's side issue and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I think some people are just kind of trying to kick Netflix while they're down a little bit since their last earnings report, but Netflix is going to be fine. And I don't think they're interested in doing either one of those things right now. But we'll see. You never know. Also, a report saying that advertising video on demand or FAST channels viewership will surpass subscription video on demand as soon as this year. So either it already has, or I don't know, because there's so much, ad-supported programming out there. It's hard to put it all together and see how much there is. I don't know how you really keep track of that. But that leads to the question then, will that lead to streaming fatigue if you have advertising video demand over here and all these different things over here and subscription over here, or will it lead to subscription fatigue? There's so many subscriptions out there. You don't know what is what. I'm just going to go with the ads. Philosophical question there. Let's discuss that for a later show, shall we? But let's put it out there. Streaming fatigue or subscription fatigue? Which is it? Dun, 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 dun. So, hey, it's just all for you to... Here's the little tips and trips here before I get to some of the questions that kind of fits into that. Is you just do what suits best for you. You don't need 12 streaming services. I know I don't. That's why I only have 11. Plus the AVOD and FAST channels. It's like I got to keep track of them. I mean, they're adding... Roku just added 25 channels. It seems like daily or weekly at least. And Pluto daily adds 3, 4 here and there. Now, are they also taking away channels at them? They're not telling you that? I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff on any of those things. But then Disney Plus just does this. We just finished off Book of Boba Fett. Do you think they're going to stop? No. Obi-Wan Kenobi's up next. Plus another season of The Mandalorian because they just had to shove that in our face in the Boba Fett show. Sorry, I just finished it and I'm still processing it all. That's okay. So let's get to the questions then. Amy wants to know is how long should a Roku last? Or when is it a good time to replace a Roku? She's got 5 of them. And one of them is kind of crap. And it's a Roku Express. And the question is, okay, so there's always a couple things you can always look at. I've talked about this before, so I think it's good for a refresher. Is one, if you look at your remote and there's presets on there and it says like Blockbuster or things that just don't exist anymore, it might be time to change out that Roku. 2, if it's not working, don't worry about it. And a Roku Express, that's what, $25? I know money can be tight for some things, but if you already have 5 already and one's on the fritz, either use one of the other ones that maybe you're not using as much, or just get another Roku Express. 3, if certain apps, let's just say like a Netflix or a Disney, the big ones, start saying, we don't support this product anymore, time for a new one. And finally, when is the best time to get a new Roku? It's when they're on sale. Always check. Always just be on the lookout. Put an alert out instead and says, boom. Also, then tips and... Oh, here's a good question. Been getting the same commercial on an ad-supported channel. In this one instance, they said 35 times the same commercial came up. Any advice or any tips or tricks? A couple things you can do is, one, like I always try and say, maybe I haven't said it enough lately, is one, check for updates on your Roku every day. Once a week, do a fresh restart of it. Either restart it or take it off of power for a little bit. That kind of clears the cache out a little bit. And this one might be a little off the wall, this little trick here. But if you have connected devices, or go on your computer and do searches for things that you're interested in. You know, do you want to go to a trip to Las Vegas? Do you want to, gee, I really like that hotels.com ad. Do you have like listening devices in your house too that you yell at to do things for you? Just say, boy, really like to go to Las Vegas. Oh, gee, I wish there'd be a sale on chicken or something. I don't know. Maybe if you're conspiracy theory and all that stuff, that might, set the little advertising overlords into things to try and find commercials for you. So maybe you need to be more proactive in what ads you think it might be relevant for you and all that stuff. Any new advice for new streamers and cord cutters? Just explore. Just don't, like I said, don't get too carried away with trying to get every subscription service. Take free trials to start, and then just explore. Just don't get in a pigeonhole and to think that, oh, I just want to watch Netflix or I just want to do this. Now see what else is out there, all that stuff. Are all the private channels still going away this month? Technically, what's going away is that Roku is up their standards of what you can do for a private channel and what its use was intended for. It was for developers to try things out before they released it to the public. It wasn't a way for you to get illegal content or, you know what you want to look for, porn. Okay? That's not what it was intended for. That's kind of what it was used for in the beginning, in the early days. That's how, but on the other hand, that's how HGTV and ESPN and all those things knew how to scale in this environment, and how what became ESPN3 and then now, which is now ESPN Plus. That's how they started. They were testing things out. So yeah, that goes into effect later this month. And then Gina wants to know, if I cancel Amazon Prime, will I still have access to the videos I've purchased? Now, the short answer is yes. But remember, what you have purchased is the right to view that. So as long as Amazon still has the rights to show it through Amazon, and you purchased that right, you will be able to do it, even though you don't have Amazon Prime anymore. You have your own library. Look for that in the menu, which you can still get on the Roku, on the Amazon Prime app, or if you have a Fire Stick, or even on a Google TV, even too. Amazon Prime, we use that as well. So there you have it. Whew! I got through all the news, notes, stuff, and questions even. I think I did okay, but if not, I can always do an amendment show. I'm still technically on vacation for another few days yet, so I can always do another pop-up show if there's something I missed. I didn't kind of go back into the past because I found another notebook when I was cleaning up around here. But in the meantime, I'm getting a little itchy, a little twitchy. Should get back to my Roku and so on. So I just finished Lucifer on Netflix. Just finished the Book of Boba Fett. So I need to either start something else or just find something else. I'm going to go explore. That's what we do here. So in the meantime, though, we want to thank archive.org for their support and providing the bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts since 2005. If you want to check out and see how I get some of the gift cards that I do, swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Check that out. But the big way that you can help support this podcast is to subscribe. I'm on all the major podcast platforms. That's why check us out here and wherever you get your podcasts. But I provide you with a list just in case you're confused. Or if you want to try something different, like I said, it's good to explore. Try out a different podcast app. It's all good. So you can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Gaana, JioSaavn, Himalaya, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, Pandora, and Odyssey. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction and also on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. And if you like questions like Amy and Gina did and other people, feel free for questions, comments, anything along those lines. Email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. And one other quick thing is a couple of people have asked me about like I said, this is a public service. All right, and some people have asked me if I'm going to continue to do this on Spotify for whatever reason and all that stuff. I know there's things going on and artists pull out. I'm not into that. This is a public service, and Spotify is just another platform. And it's a platform for other views and all that stuff too. And because somebody does something that I don't agree with, I don't just get offended and walk away and say that if you're not with me, you're against me type of thing. So Spotify stays for now. And that's up to you. As I said, there's a whole other list of other podcast apps that you can try and all that stuff as well. Even YouTube. Some people have feelings about that too. So it's hard to pick and choose and all that stuff. So I just put it out there for everyone to absorb, and it's up to everyone else to decide which platform they want to use. And I stay out of everything else. So if you have any more comments about that, meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. So until then, I hope you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku, and I'll be back with you real soon.
That's it. It's over. It's all over.
This is hell. Murderers, over here, please. The French. Finally, Christians. Ah, yes, I'm sorry. I'm afraid the Jews were right.